This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey, we're coming to do live shows in Edinburgh, Scotland, and London, England in 2 weeks. Wednesday, September 13th, we're coming to Edinburgh. Come see us. We're playing at the
Scottish Storytelling Center.
Yeah, wow, that was pretty cool that we did that. It's always a lot of fun. We do it every year. Yeah. Come out, bring people. It'll be great. Mm-hmm. And then September 15th and 16th, that's Friday and Saturday night, we're doing the London Podcast Festival at King's Place in London, our favorite place. Go to that.
It's in King's Cross.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and there's a million other podcasts there. Yeah. Go see them too, but don't see anything that's programmed against us.
Yeah, not in exchange for us.
We always hang out after the shows. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll hang out. Look, I know you want to take a picture of us and buy a poster from us. You'll be able to do that. That'll be great. We'll high five. We'll drink drinks. It'll be great. You can get all your tickets at tcgte.com/tour. Mm-hmm. Get them today. They're on sale right now. And if you have a problem you'd like us to solve at the show, email us at thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com with your problem and just let us know what show you're coming to. tcgte.com/tour. Go get your tickets now.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I am Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week? Your last week as a single man.
This is the last Complete Guide episode.
After this week, you are getting cloned. You'll become multiple men.
Ooh, imagine?
Yeah, the multiplicity situation.
You were alluding to the fact that I'm getting married this week.
You're getting what? Tim, I thought it was just the experiment going on.
But how great would it be? And this goes back to my days of reading the funny pages, Calvin and Hobbes, cloning yourself, watching the classic Michael Keaton movie Multiplicity. That's like if they were like, you know how people are like, if you had one superpower, and everybody's like, oh, I'll be invisible so I can watch girls change because I'm a pervert. But like, I would be like, multiple Tims. The world would benefit.
So how would it work? Would you have control over them, or would they all have their own free will? And could you rejoin into one Tim at will?
Here's the thing. I could turn them off at will.
Oh, God. Kill them?
No.
Turn them?
I could be like
robots?
No, I'd like have an app or something that like
that doesn't explain.
The other, I'm about to explain, Tom.
Right.
The other Tim would be out in the world.
So just one more Tim.
Yeah, or many. Like the dashboard would allow for multiple Tims.
Okay.
And this wouldn't be a multiplicity situation where freaking, like one of them turns into, I think one of them turned into like a Southern guy for some reason.
Yeah, one was like an effeminate Southern gentleman.
Yeah, and one of them was like dumb.
Well, he was a copy of a copy.
Yeah, no. This would all be
on the level.
On the level. And then if there was I'd have an app, and if I sensed that they were like out like causing trouble, I could be like hit a button that would be like they'd have to be like, well, I'm gonna go home, and then they'd have to like go home and go to bed.
So you'd have them like brainwash, kind of.
No, it would just be like
mind control over them.
Yeah, a little bit. But here's the thing, I wouldn't control them because they would be exactly me, and I'm not gonna go out and start trouble. I'm a guy that, like, if I'm tasked with doing something, I'll do that task. So, like, I'd trust my clone to go and be like, okay, you're the guy who has... Like, we'd switch off with work every week or whatever, or every day. And then, like, we'd split the load. We'd both contribute, and we'd both be good people about it, because I'm a good person.
So now... You wouldn't... I'd be afraid of mutiny from my clones.
Well, that's because you're a jerk, right?
No, I'm not a jerk.
I wouldn't have to worry about another
sorry,
Tim.
I don't just unquestionably be a slave to
No, but if my
Tom
friend
#1.
and the person who created me was like, hey, do this...
Wait, you call the other clones your friends?
Yeah. I'd be... What, you wouldn't be friends with yourself?
I don't know, it's just sad.
I have other friends.
I don't know, but it just seems weird to refer to them as your friends. They're not your friends, they're you.
Yeah, but they would be my... Like, if you had a twin brother, you wouldn't be friends?
No.
How do twins work?
They share a brain.
Yeah, they share a brain. Do they have apps that let
A lot of times they do have apps.
Yeah.
See, I'd be afraid of mutiny just because, like, what if you woke up tomorrow and there was a Tim standing over you and he was like, hey, you're a clone of me. I'm in charge, and you're going to do what I say. You'd be like, no, I'm not a clone of you. You're a clone of me.
See, I don't think I would be that way with my clone.
Uh-huh.
I think we'd come from a place of mutual respect.
Right.
I have respect for all people.
Oh, I'd just make my clones do dangerous things.
Yeah, see, you would be a jerk to your clones, and your clones would also collude against you because you're a jerk, and you would have the same.
No, it
instinct.
wouldn't work because they'd try to collude, but then they'd all stab each other in the back. And I'd wind up on Easy Street.
See,
I bet like once a week though I'd come home to like 5 dead clones that had killed each other. And I'd be like, oh God, again.
See, you think you're capable of murder?
If it's self-murder.
Yeah, I think you're thinking too much.
I'm not saying me is. I'm saying the clones of me
The clone is you.
Yeah, but the clone is also dealing with like a different set of morality because it's a clone, and it's very like, wait a minute, I'm a clone. This
reveals a lot about your character, Tom. The way that you see other people. Who might be in a different position than you are in society, born into different situations. You think people are monsters if they don't share your exact upbringing.
No, I just know if I was born, if I came alive one day and I was told I was a clone, it would affect my morality.
Yeah, but then, look. I would create a clone. We'd both step out of the machine. The smoke would clear. The dry ice or whatever would come down. And we'd go...
Better hope there's not a fly in the machine when you do it.
Oh, Tom, that's number one.
Right.
Fly-free zone. And I don't live in your home where there's flies everywhere for some reason because they outsmart you. They outwit you.
Fruit in my home.
Yeah. And then I'd be like, hi, we're going to make this work. You're my equal. I'm not going to make you do things. We're going to split the responsibilities of my life.
To turn you off when you get.
He won't know about the app.
Well, see, that's the thing, Tim. I would be honest with my clones, and then I'd be like, you know what? Here's the whole situation. And,
okay, I'd explain
the one
the
advice I'm going to give you is, if you're going to come at the king, you better not miss.
If you have a clone though, like. I only really have one pair of jeans that I wear. Do I have to buy another pair of jeans?
Or maybe just keep the clone in sweatpants, and that way people always know it's your clone.
I don't want people to know it's my clone.
Okay.
I don't want people to know I have a clone, you idiot.
Like
that defeats the whole purpose of having a clone.
I'm thinking if, like, you're invited out to drinks with friends or something, and, like, sweatpants Tim shows up, we're like, Tim's busy. He sent his freaking clone here.
Maybe my clone would be better than me. Because maybe I'd just keep going to work. I'd keep doing all the things, all the responsible stuff.
I don't think you would trust your clone.
And then the clone would just be able to go out there and like build his character and like be around the community and be like, I got nothing else to do. I don't have work to go to. I'll just help people all the time. And then people will be like, Tim, he's a great guy.
Yeah. Not the one that wears jeans, though. Just the sweatpants.
We're both going to be wearing jeans, Tom. That's your guy that has sweatpants.
Well,
Stop confusing our clones.
You're going to have to invest in a pair of jeans. Another pair of jeans.
That's fine.
Well, think about it this way, Tim. You can hand down your current jeans to the clones, get yourself a new pair of jeans.
See, that's the kind of thinking that makes a clone angry with you.
Giving them hand-me-downs?
Yeah.
The clone wouldn't even know that it was hand-me-down because you could be like...
The clone is as smart as I am, and I'm a very smart man.
But the clone, those pants are his pants. And you'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm wearing your pants. And then just give them to the clone. And he'd be like, oh, thank you.
So, yeah, I'm getting married this weekend. It's exciting.
Yeah. So this is your last episode as a single man.
Yeah, so I can...
This is kind of like your bachelor party, huh?
I mean, to be honest, it's like... closer to anything else that I've done. Like, it's me, it's you, a friend in quotes. It's John, a friend not in quotes, just in life. Mm-hmm. And we're all drinking beers. That's closer to a bachelor party than anything I've done.
Ever?
No.
Or this week.
This week.
Yeah, and wait till the hookers get here. All right, Tim, let's get right. You know what? You might be getting married this week, but that doesn't stop the churning of content.
We need all the content.
Need more content, man.
Yeah. I can't wait till I can send my clone to these things.
I am Tom's clone. I've been coming to these for...
You're a very dangerous man, I understand.
Tom Prime is
that
actually...
why your shirt is covered in blood?
Tom Prime is actually the one who wears the sweatpants. He doesn't leave the house. This week we're talking about doing the opposite of not leaving the house for good.
For good. Tom, this is a phenomenon that I was unaware of.
Yeah.
You alerted me to it today. Mm-hmm. Van life.
Yeah.
Hashtag van life.
Hashtag van life. Yeah, I forgot that. It's usually hashtag van life.
Yeah, the way it's easily searchable.
So you search for it?
I guess. Did I search for it? Yeah, I
Tim, wait a minute. Are you a clone? That sounded very suspicious.
No. I thought you were saying, like, in general, you search for it. Like, yeah you search for things on the internet.
Did I search for it? What have I said in the past?
Oh, I neglected to think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, my clone wouldn't have all my memories.
No,
right?
It'd have your memories up to the point where it was cloned.
Okay, forget the whole clone thing. I don't want it to happen anymore.
You would just have to catch up.
I don't want to live in two realities.
It might be nice. You have dinner and so what did you do today?
Yeah, that's true.
I killed Tim 3. He had a plan that you would not have liked.
After Clone 1, I'd destroy the machine, Tom.
Oh, what if the first clone gets killed?
Then I'll get the scientist to make another machine.
Oh, so in this scenario, you haven't made the machine. In
my scenario, do I know how to make a machine that clones people, Tom?
You know as well as anybody else.
I don't know.
Nobody else has done it.
I think many people have a head start on me. I don't know how to make a machine to do anything. And people have made machines to do other things.
Yeah.
So, unless we're making, things out of connects.
Judging by that contraption that makes you a bowl of cereal every morning, it takes a half hour to run.
Yeah, it's pretty analog, though. It involves a chicken, a hen, a candle. That's not really a
candle
machine.
burning a rope.
Yeah, string, not a rope.
A bowling ball.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
A gun. Fires.
We're talking about...
the hearts of my enemies.
Van life.
Van life, baby.
So you didn't search for this. What do you know about it?
I know that it's people who try to leave society behind and hit the open road with nothing but a van on their back. Mm-hmm. And their old lady right next to them.
Right. I mean, sometimes not.
Yeah.
So basically, it's
your old man, but not your dad.
It's his.
I mean, when I said old lady, I meant the way that bikers in sitcoms refer to their girlfriends or wives. It's
always weird. That was always super confusing to me that an old lady's your wife, but an old man's your dad.
Yeah, I think that was just the writers of Home Improvement being lazy.
No, I mean, I think that's what it is. You never hear
You never met a biker who explained what their old lady was?
Who their old lady was.
Whom their old lady was.
So van life, it's this movement similar to the tiny house movement. You know about the tiny house movement?
Yeah, we did a whole episode about it.
Well, it is like a tinier house, but it's on wheels. So
all these people that get the tiny houses, just buy an RV. They pre-make these things.
RVs are expensive.
So are tiny houses.
Yeah. So that's why some people choose the van life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm shitting on the tiny house people right now, Tom.
Yeah, well, because we're playing into all the van life people.
Yeah, guess what? If you have a tiny house, take it from me, Tim. Go screw. We don't need you.
Take it from me, Tiny Tim.
Yeah. I live in a regular size house. I live in a very small apartment.
It seems regular size because you're tiny. You see, I don't want to get into this. I do for a second. There's some movie coming out with what's his name, Matt Damon, where he shrinks himself, and it's like a serious movie.
Like to how big?
To like 6 inches tall.
Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? That was a serious movie.
No, it's this movie that it's like kind of a futuristic scenario.
Is Rick Moranis in this movie?
No, not to the best of my knowledge.
I only see Rick Moranis movies.
It's a movie where there's like science figures out how to shrink people, and then a bunch of people shrink themselves to save money.
Well, that seems like something that people would do.
I mean, it makes sense, but like, because
a whole sugar cube would last you for a decade, probably.
Oh, and you can go live in a dollhouse.
What'd you have for dessert? 1 grain of sugar,
and it costs next to nothing.
Yeah, and I had to cut it in thirds with a knife because it was too big for me to even that one morsel.
And halfway through, I had to fight off an ant 3 times my size.
That's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's life, man. You can't keep ants out. Don't shrink yourself. Ants are going to get you.
What if you could shrink yourself, Tom, but there was a benevolent scientist, and he was like, I've created a tiny society.
Right.
And I've put it all together with tweezers and whatnot, right? Like houses and parks. And
how do I know he's not going to tweeze my head off one day?
Well, I mean, how do you know God's not going to tweeze your head off?
True. Because I pray every day that he won't.
That's true. But like it's like and it's like the attic in Beetlejuice where they have the thing, right?
Yeah, the train set.
Yeah,
where Beetlejuice lives.
Yeah, but Beetlejuice isn't there. And also, if Beetlejuice is there, just treat him normal; he'll be fine. He's a little bit of a trickster. Yeah,
don't make a deal with him.
Yeah, but like if you know that. Beetlejuice is the same as any jerk in your neighborhood. Just like don't engage. It's fine.
I think it's hard to not engage with Beetlejuice because he can just like appear in front of you and stuff.
Yeah, but people can appear anywhere. You have to say his name 3 times.
Yeah, but then once you do that, he's just like around.
Not forever.
It was very unclear, like, when he goes away.
It's like the Gremlins thing. It's like, when can you start feeding them?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, when does the statute of limitations of the 3 times I said Beetlejuice run out?
Yeah. Like, if you leave the room, does he have to, like, go and then, like...
Yeah,
like,
because you have to summon him again.
Yeah. Just, there's certain words that we can't say, much to Bill O'Reilly's chagrin, right?
Right.
How hard is it to not say a word? Ask Bill O'Reilly. It's pretty hard for him. He's jealous that he can't say this word that certain people can say.
Well, and especially Beetlejuice. It rarely comes up in conversation.
Yeah. Unless you're thinking...
about Beetlejuice. And now I've said it 3 times. See, it's that easy. What were we talking about? Oh, if I would... live in a tiny tweezer town?
If they were
that's what this movie's about.
Yeah, but if the scientist is like, look, we put ant traps all on the floor, and you're up on a table where this tiny society is, and you can go in a funny little hot air balloon.
I can go in a hot air balloon now.
Yeah, but like...
And if I went in a hot air balloon as a tiny person, I'd just be like, oh, wow, look at the rest of the room.
Yeah, but he'd really deck out the room. It'd be nice. He'd have like the Bill Gates house where the walls are all screens.
Yeah. Oh, I hope
maybe it's Bill Gates, not just any benevolent scientist.
I hope
Bill Gates
Gates has updated that house, because how woefully outdated would that house be now?
It's like a CRT screen. Is that what those screens were called?
The big, the tubes.
Yeah. Were they made out of those TVs?
No, but I think they were made of like early LCDs. So like his wall made of screens. It's like a low resolution 14-inch LCD.
I think Bill Gates has consistently upgraded his life with technology.
I'm sure he's running Windows 10. He's probably always updating. I got to run the software updates.
I run Windows Vista.
You do?
Yeah.
That's the pinnacle for you.
That's my OS of choice.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm aware of other operating systems that just
but I don't care for
that was my favorite one. So.
Yeah. Anyway, Tim, we're talking about van life.
Yes.
So I want to issue a correction to you. This is not people who want to run away from society. I think this is actually one thing that separates this from tiny house. Because
tiny house people just want to get on HGTV.
Who the hell does
Bunch of dang opportunists. That's right, tiny house people.
Yeah.
Take a walk. We don't want you here.
Well, it's either you buy a tiny house or you kiss your brother. That's the only way you can get on that show.
Oh, the Property Brothers.
Hey, you said it, not me. But you knew exactly what I meant. Anyway, the van life people...
You always claim that the Property Brothers kiss each other.
Yeah.
And I'm hard-pressed to disagree with you.
A lot of times...
There's a lot of sexual tension between those two.
It's a lot of times it's like they're like, all right, well, yeah, I guess I'll go talk to the contractor and you go check out the furniture. I'll see you later. They do a real quick kiss. Goodbye.
I think they might cut that out, but I think the series finale of the Property Brothers is going to be wild. I think it's going to be like, whoa, we cannot rerun that episode ever again.
Yeah. Just going to be like weird, nobody actually caught it on their DVR. There's a few audio recordings.
Yeah.
But van life. Van life people, they're not, in my understanding, as averse to society.
They want to see as much society as they can.
Yeah, they kind of want to mix it up. They don't want to go live in a tiny house in the woods. They want to be on wheels, baby, so they can drive around and honk at people and stuff. So
they by and large, and look, Tom.
Yeah, they buy large vans.
They buy RVs.
That's RV life, man.
So vans don't have toilets in them.
No, and that's
that's part of it
in there.
So this is a big YouTube thing you were telling me.
Yeah,
you are a YouTube man.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like camper van, like a VW camper van. Like that's kind of where it came from.
Here's what here's how I see your life.
We're not talking about my life.
You're at home, and one tab is YouTube, and then the other tab is pornography, a pornography site. And you spend your day just toggling between back and forth.
I get the same out of both.
Yeah.
The same rush.
Okay. Out of these van life videos. It's,
I have something to say about
videos.
Pornography, but I haven't drank enough to say
I'd rather you didn't. I regret bringing any of this up.
So that's why... I'm going to bring... All right, I'm going to say...
No, I don't want you to. We're going back to van life.
Van life. So...
I know it's going to come out sooner or later. I'd rather it be later in the episode.
Right. After the ad's done, at least.
Yeah, after the ad's done, after my parents stop listening.
So the...
you know what's going to happen?
What?
Because I'm getting married this weekend. I'm going to meet a whole bunch of family from the other side. And they're going to be like, what's the name of your podcast?
Oh, yeah. What's the latest episode?
Yeah. And they're just going to go. They're not going to ask me what. They're just going to listen to the latest episode. And it's you describing this pornography or whatever.
No, I'm not describing. It's a very G-rated. It's more of a life hack or a tip.
Now I kind of want to hear it.
Yeah. All right. Here it is. I'm just going to say it. Because enough is enough.
John, note the time code at this point.
Do you know about the First Amendment, Tim? Have you ever read the Constitution?
To be honest, I didn't read the Constitution until the HBO did a special on it, and they had celebs read the Constitution. So
they're reading the celebrity Constitution. That's different. That's for Hollywood liberal elites.
Yeah, it's all about...
And I'm a New York liberal elite. So it's different. I have a different constitution.
Okay, so tell me about the First Amendment.
No, I want to tell you about pornography. This is a porno tip. If you are not, and this actually kind of ties into YouTube, if you're not in like a relationship or something, and you don't have a reason to hide your browsing history from somebody, I'm telling you, stop using the private browsing when you look at pornography, because the recommendation engines on these things are fantastic nowadays. They're really good. And you know what? If you're using the private browsing, it can't track you. Let them track you. They've got a lot to offer. You don't see weird stuff you don't want to see anymore, and you see a lot of the stuff you do. That's it.
Hashtag van life.
Yeah. Tim, you're about to get married, so you gotta stick to the private mode.
Hashtag van life.
Or get a different computer or something. Get another computer.
Imagine somebody went so far as to buy, like, make a $1,500 purchase and like
people do that.
Really?
Yeah, Tim.
People are nuts.
Tim, when I worked, I don't think I've ever told this story. There was this one time, years and years ago when I worked at the Apple store where somebody, like this woman came in with like a smashed laptop and she was like, I need all the data off of this. And then like 15 minutes later, some guy came storming and he's like, my wife dropped off my laptop. I need it back. And she had smashed the hell out of it before realizing I get all the information for the divorce. And I think it was more than just, he wasn't using private browsing, so the porno sites knew his tastes.
Did you pull the information?
No.
And go through it personally?
No.
Well, then why did you even take that job if you don't get to do that?
I called the woman back, and I was just like, you gave us this laptop. I'm going to hand it back to you, and then we're not going to be a part of this anymore. But anyway, that has nothing to do with living in a van, which I always think is funny. Remember Chris Farley living in a van down by the river?
It was posed as a
as rock bottom.
Yeah, as a
and
sad
now,
thing.
Millennials are killing sad things.
Could you imagine a man that was at the end of his rope?
Yeah.
So much that he was living in a van down by the river, and then he had the audacity to market himself as a motivational speaker.
Yeah, and literally that's half of YouTube now, are people who live in vans and then post motivational, not motivational, but videos about life in a van and how freeing it is and how great it is.
All right, explain this to me. So, like, there's no bathroom in the van.
Sometimes there can be.
Well, then we're talking an RV. Is there a stove?
Sometimes there can be.
You can't have a stove in a van. You get pulled over, they're gonna rip that right out.
So if you get like a camper van or like a camper trailer,
isn't that what an RV is?
It's smaller than like an RV. I believe is a class of vehicle that you need.
Recreational. It's for fun, and these people are serious.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you need. I think you might need like a special driver's license to drive an RV. Like, and you can't.
No, you don't. That's
you have to be careful.
Absolutely not true.
Well, you have to be careful about low bridges, and you don't have to in a van.
Okay.
This is like a passenger van or a cargo van. I'm talking about. You buy and you trick it out.
Okay. Like Pimp My Ride.
Yeah.
I hated that show. I don't like that phrase.
Pimp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Make my car really nice. Like a man that...
well, nobody's going to watch a show called Make My Car Really Nice.
Why not? I'd watch that show.
Make my car really nice? Because that sounds like I'm watching somebody wash and detail a car.
All right, install nice things in my car.
Well, now I feel like I'm just watching the Geek Squad at Best Buy put a new stereo in.
But the way that you're thinking of somebody scrolling through the TV listings, you'd Pimp My Ride, you'd be like, oh, so here's an abusive man that's going to beat the shit out of a car, make it have sex for money, and then take that money from them.
Well, I'd watch that show. Anyway. Well, that is not what a lot of these van people, they love their cars. I guess a lot of pimps say that they love their prostitutes. So, but they don't let people have sex with these cars. Let me tell you, because they're living in them. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm living here." If somebody came up and tried to have sex with the car.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd stop somebody from having sex with my car.
It's probably best just to let them finish.
Yeah, one time, a tough guy, I walked down the street. It was like in the morning.
This. Yeah.
I was like going to drive to work, and somebody was peeing on my car. I just turned around and walked the other way. I got another cup of coffee before I went to work.
Was it Calvin?
It was because it was a Ford. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean,
he was wearing
you're
a
asking
jacket
for
with
it.
a Chrysler logo on the back.
Well, you're asking for it, Tim. You're parking your Ford in a Calvin neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, all right. Let's start. We'll talk about some of the basics here. Bathroom. First things first. Some people install chemical toilets in their vans.
That's gonna smell.
No, the chemicals keep the smell out.
It's gonna smell like chemicals.
Yeah, that's a fine smell.
I do like the smell of chemicals.
Right? It's nice.
Is that chemicals when you unwrap a new shower curtain liner?
Yeah.
That's chemicals?
Yeah.
Man, I love the chemical smell.
Yeah. So you can live with that all the time. You live with that instead of the smell of shit and piss.
Shower curtain liner the other day. I was smelling the hell out of it.
Oh, were you getting excited?
No, I just like the smell.
I'm
not a pervert like
they
you.
Make you horny smelling that shower
No,
curtain?
sometimes you can just like a smell. Does it make you horny when you smell chocolate chip cookies? It does for you.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim, maybe think about turning off that private browsing. If it does, you might find some stuff some other stuff you like. It's crowdsourced AI. Anyway, the chemical toilets. I didn't realize how easy it is. There's like a lot of solutions that involve just like pooping in an elaborate bag.
That seems like too much trouble.
Well,
one of the greatest achievements, one of the greatest things about living in modern society is that, it's a little wasteful, but we figured out a way
to get rid of our shit.
To get rid of our shit in a way that, is amenable to everybody.
More, not the Ninja Turtles.
No, they chose to live down there.
Tim, I don't think they have much of a choice. They look like giant mutant turtles. Where are they going to go to a real estate agent?
Live in the subway.
I think they do. They do in the movies a little bit. And it's still kind of the sewers.
No, the subway is different from the sewers.
Not from what I remember from Ninja Turtles.
All right.
They all connect. So you can, or a lot of people, what they do is they get like a gym membership, and then they shower and go to the bathroom.
So this was the most interesting thing when I was reading about hashtag van life.
Yes,
that they're not eschewing the trappings.
Yeah, it's not like
of
a
modern
Walden
life.
thing.
Yeah, they're not like, oh, I don't need anything. They're just like, hey, I want to be free. I don't want to be tied down. I don't want to be paying rent. I want to live as simply as possible. But if that means I had to pay $30 a month for a premium Planet Fitness membership,
right?
I can take a shower every day. I can use the bathroom whenever I want to. And I'll weird a bunch of people out there because, I'll be the guy that, parks that crazy van and probably has dreadlocks.
Well, so here...
Look, no offense to anybody with dreadlocks, unless you live in a tiny house, in which case, go screw.
A van, you mean?
No, a tiny house. I hate tiny house people.
Okay, so that's just a blanket go
If you live in a van or a house or an apartment and you have dreadlocks, or in, nature or whatever, that's fine. Tiny house, don't want anything to do with you.
So, yeah. Well, there's another one of these topics, Tim, where I've got too much to say.
Sorry, I keep derailing you by making you say horrible things about pornography.
Just about porno sites. I didn't actually say anything about pornography.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean...
You're giving tips to perverts.
I mean, tips to perverts.
I'm the southern clone.
All right, so that actually, there's a big difference here that I want to bring up that relates to the idea of using a gym membership. So some people do this, and this is actually something I would love to do, this particular situation, where they get a van and they go tour national parks, and they just go live in national parks for weeks at a time. And, see the country, and then it's oh, yeah, you've got your home with you, but you can go to these crazy remote places.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is hashtag van life supposed to be a permanent thing, or is it an excursion for, even if not a set amount of time, is it meant to be like, hey, I'm going to do this for a while before, like, I'm going to do this thing. Like, if I were going to take a cross-country road trip, the like, you know, it's like, I'm going to quit my job because I, like, if I didn't like my job, I'd quit it.
Right.
And I'd get a new job at some point, but I'll save up and I'll drive across country. But, like, the one bummer is that, like, I want to take a couple months to do it, and I don't want to pay, like, thousands of dollars in rent back home. So I can see that, right?
What makes van life is that it's the, like, getting rid of, like, any other safety net. So it is, like, not having an apartment or a home, and it's selling your apartment or home or stopping your rent. We're like, nope, this is it. That's what makes it different than just, van traveling. Life
without a net, baby. That's what I like to hear.
So it doesn't have to be like, yep, and this is going to be it for the rest of my life. But, there are plenty of people, the majority of people, I think, that probably do this are like, I'm going to do this for 6 months, for like the spring and summer because I, just graduated or, I'm moving, I'm changing careers, whatever. And this is something I've always wanted to do. So I'm going to do this. And see how it goes. And a lot of people, they're according to these YouTube videos, are people who are like, yeah, my plan was to do this for 6 months, and that was 2 years ago, and I just love this. It's great.
I fully turned into a weirdo.
Well,
and I see no signs of turning back.
Well, so that's the difference.
Do hashtag van life people have jobs?
You don't have to say hashtag.
I just want it to be searchable.
A lot of them are digital nomads.
What does that mean? They're people that can just work from anywhere.
They work online. They work either
they
for
steal
themselves.
Wi-Fi from whatever coffee shop.
They either work for themselves or they work for a company remotely, so they can just work from a laptop. That's so one of the big things is Wi-Fi. Getting that connection, getting those bars. It can be tricky sometimes.
How do you do it?
I don't live in a van. I have an apartment that I have a router right in my apartment.
Yeah, that seems the easiest way.
It's one of the easier ways. Well, that's the thing. I did watch this one video where these people it was a couple. Like a lot of times it's couples. Rare, once in a while, small families, a lot of solo people.
Shouldn't allow children to do this.
A lot of times it's only like, young families, like kids who aren't in school yet.
Babies.
But I did watch this one video where it was a couple talking about like, we left San Francisco. It's just too much, blah, blah, blah. We want to save money and stuff. And they were living the hashtag van life. But their internet every month cost $350 because they had to, use like hotspots.
I mean, that's still way less than
San
Francisco
but that's like,
rent.
Yeah.
Like you're still going to pay $60
for internet.
Internet.
That's about what I pay. Have you been looking at my bills?
No.
Yeah.
How dare you think I'm looking at your bills and internet history?
Oh, man. Maybe I should turn the private browsing back on. Unless you're the one recommending things to me.
You want scoundrels in the pornography business to know that much about you?
Hey, I'd rather them than, the Google Mafia.
I mean, they're just going to sell it to the Google Mafia.
No, they'll sell it to other pornographers who will recommend me other porno videos I'd like to see.
Yeah, but then some enterprising
to be clear, I don't look at porno videos that
with
often.
Something like more than porno videos. and then you're just going to have to be like, well, my life could go one or two ways.
What do you mean more than porno?
You know what I mean.
No, I don't think I do. Like they're going to try and sell me a reverse mortgage, too?
I don't know. You're going to wind up having sex with a car.
In some areas of the internet, that's what van life is about. It's about creating life with a van.
Wow, really?
Yep. A lot of fan art. It's mostly a fan art community.
I do not like when we get into the fan art aspect of topics on this show.
Of the internet. What were we talking about? Vans.
Hashtag van life.
So, okay. So some people do the whole like, I want to tour the country. I want to drive all around. A lot of Kiwis do this.
Yeah, because there's not much there.
No, there's a ton there, but it's
not in like the like civilized.
Right. It's all just beautiful nature. So they're so bored they have to go outside and look at all the beautiful nature. Yeah. And a lot of Kiwis come to America to do the van life.
Everyone around the world, they're coming to America.
There's a lot of rock climbers that do this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're good at climbing things. Do you remember the time when we were in Yosemite? Mm-hmm. We saw those rock climbers climbing that big mountain?
Yeah.
I nearly pooped my pants.
Yeah, and they were so far away and so small, we couldn't even really tell if it was people or not.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was ants. And then it was explained to me, depth.
Yeah, how distance works. Yeah. But a lot of rock climbers, and I don't know why, but the idea of like keeping all your rock climbing gear in a van and living in a van seems very unsafe to me, and it shouldn't. There's no reason why that's less safe. But like, I would want my gear in like a nice home.
Here's my problem with hashtag van life. Mm-hmm. Here's what
I want to get into the other aspects in a minute.
What would keep me from doing it? Mm-hmm. You got to park somewhere.
Yeah.
Then you're just sleeping in a van. Mm-hmm. Scoundrels can get in.
Right. Well,
I'm protected by so much.
If you're what are you protected by?
A door with multiple locks. Mm-hmm. A window with locks. Just kidding. My apartment doesn't have any windows.
Well, that's even safer.
Yeah.
You insisted. You had the windows bricked up.
Yeah. Came with windows.
Well, do you feel unsafe when you're camping? Do you think scoundrels are going to get you?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, me too.
I think mountain men are going to come in and
a lot of the
chop me to bits with an axe.
Van life people, they sleep with a knife next to them.
See, I don't want to ever have that situation. Real talk, Tom.
Yes.
Do you sleep with any weapon near you?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Really? Because you had that knife that almost...
What
You
knife?
had that, like, Batman knife.
Yeah, that I got from Thailand.
Yeah, you don't have that near you?
No, that's in a drawer in my kitchen.
Good to know for any intruders.
Yeah.
What was your address again? I've been thinking about buying a Louisville Slugger to keep next to my bed.
You should get one. You should just go to I guess they don't have Bat Day at the stadiums anymore.
No, God, no.
Because those little bats are great for beatings.
No, those tiny little balsa wood bats.
Because Tim, think about if you get a Louisville Slugger. Think about like the space you need for your wind up to clock a guy.
No, but you can take it, and I don't know how to describe this, but you can like
shove it at somebody.
Yeah,
like stab
just
them
like
with it?
jab them in the face. With...
All that's gonna do is make them angrier.
No, you could break their nose.
You can do that with your fists.
Not me. My fists are made of jelly.
Get some brass knuckles.
That's true, but putting them on would take so long.
Yeah, but you'd be like, oh boy, you
messed with the
you've made a big mistake while you're putting them on. I'd like to have a set of brass knuckles for home protection.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody could really, I couldn't get in too much trouble.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got one of those tiny bats at the ballpark? Were you there?
No, I don't think so.
I was at a baseball game, and I was really drunk.
One of those
Yankee
tiny
Stadium.
bats would be perfect for van life where you don't have a lot of space.
Yeah, but
you still want to play baseball.
These are too tiny for anything.
Well, what if you figure out the shrink ray?
So I was really drunk, and there was a kid's birthday party in the row ahead of us.
Uh-huh.
And it was like a kid, probably like 8, and like probably like 6 of his friends, and then his like beleaguered dad was there, and it was like, they could take everybody to Yankee Stadium. And this kid kept making fart jokes,
nice.
This one kid, and I just kept laughing like really hard. I was really drunk, and this kid like kept like playing to me, and our friend Chris was there, and like just kept like making jokes that would make us laugh.
Yeah.
And then the dad was like, okay, we're going to go get souvenirs. And he was like, the kid was like, what should I get? And I was like, you know what's really cool? Those little bats. Actually, get me one of those little bats, right? Just as a joke, you know? And they went off for like an inning or whatever, and they came back, and they all came back with everybody got like one thing. And the kid had a bat, and he's like, here, I got this for you. And I was like, oh, shit. And the dad was like, hey, why are you giving that bat to that man? And I was like, I don't know, sir. And then the kid was like, he asked me to buy it for him. And this man bought the bat for this kid, because this kid was like, and this kid didn't get any other thing. And the guy was like, what the fuck? Why did you have this boy buy you a bat? I bought that bat.
Because they won't sell them to me anymore.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't know what this kid's talking about. And this kid was just like, you're selling me out. And I was like, take the bat.
Hey, listen,
take the
pal,
bat.
I tried to do you a solid, and now you're throwing me under the bus here.
But I was also like 8 beers in, so I was like, I'll watch the rest of the game from the parking lot. I'll meet you at the car, Chris. And I left. So that's why I don't have one that I can fight intruders off with.
That's 100% on you, Tim. You had one literally a free one to hand deliver.
Yeah, I feel like that man wouldn't let me out of the stadium with it.
I feel like that man wouldn't have had a say in it if you were the one with the tiny bat. Did he buy a tiny bat?
If I chatted up a child to convince him to buy to get his friend's dad to buy me a souvenir bat, and then tried to assault the father with the bat, I feel like that wouldn't have ended well for me.
That would have been a hell of a story coming home. Their mom was like, how was the baseball game? Yeah, you know that shitty kid Sam that I told our kid not to invite away? He bought a little bat for this man, and he beat me with it.
For this man who's the same age as me.
Yeah, he beat the hell out of me.
Some childless loser who's the same age as us.
Yeah.
Me and you, my wife.
So the other thing I want to get into about van life is the not like traveling coasts and national parks and stuff like that, which is stealth camping.
Ooh.
Like
Metal Gear
Solid. Yes, exactly like Metal Gear Solid, a.k.a. Urban camping.
Okay.
A.k.a. urban stealth camping, which is... and Tim, let me tell you, since I've been watching these videos, I've been walking these streets, and there are a ton of people doing this that you do not notice. People living in vans down by your apartment.
One time there was a van parked outside of my apartment that had Dracula teeth.
No, damn, that's just a scary story somebody told you.
No, I took a picture of it. It was there for a long time.
Well, if they were real Dracula teeth, they wouldn't come out on film. So
no, it was painted on the van. The van was painted all black.
Okay.
And there were bloody Dracula teeth.
How big?
Painted. Like on the side of the van.
They took out the whole side?
They're probably like 3 feet.
Do you think Dracula's lived in there?
I don't know who lived in there.
Yeah.
I moved.
Was it daytime or nighttime?
It's both. I just moved out of the neighborhood.
So wait, it was like there all the time?
It was there for like a week. It had like tickets on it.
Oh. I don't know what that story with that is.
Let me ask you
this.
Most
van life people don't have Dracula teeth painted on their vans.
Well, this guy did.
Because if you're doing the stealth camping, you want to be as discreet as possible. Some people even go as far as like getting their vans painted up like fake service vans.
Like Spectrum, which used to be Time Warner.
Yeah, well, they won't go as far, I think, to like put like a corporation.
Why not?
Because
there's no way that Time Warner's going to be like, oh, I know where all my trucks are. They don't know if your internet's on.
No, because if somebody complains that like a truck's around too much, they're going to complain to Time Warner, and then Time Warner's going to be like, all right, we'll go check it out, and then they'll be like, hey.
Yeah, and Time Warner's so timely at checking things out. That's the best thing to do, actually. Or make it like a Verizon truck. Verizon will be like, "Listen, I don't know. Fuck you. We don't care. We don't care about your concerns."
I think. Well, a lot of people they don't go that far. They just get like
Joe's
like plumbing or something like that painted on the van. Yeah. But you black out all the windows.
Mm-hmm.
You get blackout curtains, all of that, and then you can live anywhere as long as the police don't come a knocking. But
why, if the police come a knocking, who cares?
They're going to hassle you. At the very least, they're going to hassle you. They're going to give you a hassle.
It's like when the police hassled John Rambo, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
It escalated into a tragedy.
Yeah, he didn't want any trouble.
Yeah, he just wanted to get a meal at a diner, and then they drove him into the woods, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
Just let him look, man. They didn't want to be over there in the first place.
That's why whenever I'm pulled over, I always ask the police if they want a John Rambo situation on their hands or not. License and registration. Yeah, I'll give it to you, but I have a question for you first.
So how do you get food?
I saw
Do you cook in the van?
A bicycle get pulled over today.
Really?
Yeah.
Drunk?
I don't know what he did.
They pull over. It's rarer to see a car get pulled over in New York City than a bicycle. I feel like if a bicycle, if you're riding a bike and you look at somebody the wrong way, the cops will be like, "Here's a $150 ticket."
Well, if you have a bicycle built for two, though, and you can just go to the
Who's
cops
that
like,
guy?
"Oh, I don't know, he won't stop the bike."
So you just flee the cops, just being like, "I would stop, but my partner here."
As you can see, my feet are off the pedals.
That's a foolproof plan.
So what do you do for food? I'll tell you what you do for food, Tim. A, you can have a microwave in there.
Okay.
Oh, so you can have a microwave, you can have a hot plate. This is one of the thing that I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with solar energy lately.
Yeah, it's the wave of the future.
And a lot of these people, that's what they rely on. They get a couple.
That's not this. You're singing a different tune from when Barack Obama was investing in renewables.
Well, that's
and you
different, Tim, because this isn't
communism.
a communist conspiracy. This is just this is good old capitalism. You can buy these solar panels on Amazon, on WashingtonPostAmazon.com.
See, when I bought solar panels during the Barack Obama administration, you said they came from Kenya. And they were made by radical Muslims.
And the weathered underground.
Yeah.
You don't have any solar panels, do you? I have a solar charger for my cellular phone or anything else. It just has a USB plug.
I have a beanie that has a propeller that's solar paneled.
You fucking wish. You wish you had that. Yeah, you can swing that kind of thing. You don't have that kind of money. So a lot of these people, that's what they do.
Do you think people would buy Complete Guide branded solar powered beanies?
I'm willing to find out.
Yeah.
You could. So these people, they get extra batteries, and then they have a solar thing, but. With the urban camping, with the stealth camping, you have to be careful because that's a big sign that you live in there if there are freaking solar panels lining your roof.
Yeah, but you could just be like, no, that's for the CD player.
That's for the CD player. Yeah, I don't have a car.
Are you not allowed to live in a car?
It varies by jurisdiction, I believe. So you can live in a car in a national park if you have a permit or whatever. Mm-hmm. But in cities, no, you can't live in a car. Most cities. New York City, you can't live in a car.
What if you're adhering to all the parking rules?
I believe it's that you cannot sleep in a car. You cannot stay
you can't
over.
Sleep in a car? I've slept in so many cars.
You cannot stay in your car overnight or more than a certain amount of hours or whatever. A lot of it is just people aren't worried about tickets or jail. It's just hassle. Because especially think about
not up, guys.
Well, but they're just trying to avoid the hassle in the first place. If you can avoid hassle,
I
you're
like
going to
being
avoid.
hassled.
You don't like being hassled.
I like being hassled when I have the.
Because think about if a cop knocks on your van window and he's like, "Hey, what's going on in here?" And you're like, "Oh, nothing." And then he's like, "What you got in this van?" And it's like, "Oh, I there's a whole home in here."
No, you say none of your beeswax. You got a warrant.
Mm-hmm. You can, but they might be like. Well,
twirl their nightstick.
You got a tail light out here, and
but if you're parked, if there's not a moving violation and not a parking violation, and your windows are blacked out, cops aren't going to see you.
I'm telling you what, Tim, you could be a good van life lawyer. You should set up shop.
I am a lawyer.
Yeah. And I don't know why you don't use that law degree, so you should. But it's a good use. Become a van life lawyer.
It's more lucrative to install television screens in the back of the headrests of cars. See, that was my problem with Pimp My Ride. They put a bunch of stuff in the car that you could, like, as the driver of the car,
you couldn't enjoy.
You couldn't enjoy.
Well, also,
it's like, okay, and they were like, yo, we put 3 different screens in here that they could all be watching different things. It's like, I hate when I'm driving and there's people in my car and I'm trying to talk to them because I'm bored and I'm driving.
Yeah.
And they're all like on their phones
They're
or whatever. I want them watching The Mummy 2. And
then he's yelling at me when I'm watching The Mummy 2 while you're driving.
You're always watching The Mummy 2, and you're like, shh, I haven't seen this part. It's like, I know you've seen this part.
Well, no, I haven't, because it might be like a part where, the last time you were yelling at me during it.
But you're always watching The Mummy 2, Tom. Whenever I go to your house, whenever you're in my car, your mom was complaining to me.
I'm just trying to
she
finish
called me up.
the
She's
damn
like,
thing.
we had Tommy over for Christmas dinner.
If everybody would just stop interrupting me while I'm trying to watch this movie.
The Mummy 2. It's ridiculous.
So, yeah.
You had more to say about hashtag van life?
I'm just trying to think of what I haven't covered. I mean, I haven't covered a lot because there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, you were telling sick pornography stories.
They weren't sick, Tim. You could sub out pornography for any other website. Just recommendations are very good on all websites nowadays.
Drugs buying on the dark web, Tom?
No, but like people go on and on about like, oh, the Spotify playlist, the what do they call it, the weekly
Discover Weekly.
Yeah, Discover Weekly. Like, man, it has a bunch of stuff I didn't know that I would like. The pornography websites have the same technology nowadays, and just a lot of people are visiting with private browsing, and they don't understand. They don't realize this. All I'm saying is, if you've got nothing to lose, give it a try. I didn't even recommend a specific pornography site, because sometimes you have to go to a few before you find what you like, which is videos of a man having sex with a passenger van.
Hashtag van life.
Yeah. I mean, I think that. Do you have any questions for me about van life?
A million.
All right.
I feel like you haven't answered any of my questions.
I've answered all of them.
Do you build a bed in the van?
Yeah.
Do you build a kitchen?
Sometimes.
Do you go grocery shopping?
Yeah. I mean, some people have like you can get little 12-volt powered refrigerators. I mean, they're kind of like coolers. You can get like a big fridge if you've got a big battery, but a lot of people just
burping a lot, Tom.
A lot of people just make do with a cooler size thing where they can keep perishables.
Okay. I guess I don't have very many questions. It seems pretty simple. What are...
Hey, man, it's as simple or as complicated as you want to make it.
Yeah, no, I think that's my main question. I know you've told me that, like, so many videos on YouTube are about hashtag van life. Mm-hmm. And what are they explaiting? Like, what kind of stuff? And this is... Look,
yeah.
I'm coming from a
place
positive
of love.
place. Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to poke any holes. Because, like, here's the thing.
God, just let me explain.
It's nice to let go. It's nice to just to feel free. I understand that.
We got a big country here.
Yeah, no judgments unless you live in a tiny house, in which case you're a freak.
Yeah, and a fraud.
Yeah, but like I'm not. But like, what are all these videos telling you to do? Like, oh, sleep in the van. Like, cool. Drive to a place, park it, and then sleep, and then go do things.
Well, a lot of them are about, there's a lot that are like van tours, because that's the interesting thing about it, that you can get very creative with like, all right, how do I fit Because these aren't people that they're converting these vans. Some people are like ripping everything out and then like using like spray insulation and then like putting all wood so it's like a coffin.
Cool.
Murphy beds, things like that.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Now you've got my attention.
Exactly. Where to keep storage, where to keep like a toilet if they want to have a toilet. All that kind of stuff. And then like also the stealth aspect, because not only do people do the stealth camping in like, very urban areas like cities, but sometimes it's like, well, I just want to like keep my van in a parking lot tonight because I've got nowhere else to stay. How do I disguise my van so that just like no one notices it?
Nothing hassles me.
Nothing looks out of the ordinary here. There isn't, smoke coming out of the van or things like that.
Cool. You know what I would do if I was vanning?
What?
I'd
rather be vanning.
Remember when we saw that bumper sticker on a van?
We saw
it's like you are vanning.
No. The van had a bumper sticker that said, "I'd rather be vanning," and then another bumper sticker that said, "Cars can eat shit."
Yeah.
The guy was just so into vans.
Yeah. Look,
Fuck
I respect
cars,
it.
Man.
I would follow the Wienermobile.
It just doesn't give out free hot dogs all the time.
No, that's fine, but it always hits up like you would see some fun things. You'd go to every like county fair.
Look, you're just seeing Tim. You're falling victim once again to the Oscar Mayer social media.
No, I was there. I've touched the Wienermobile, Tom.
Well, that's disrespectful.
No, they invite you to. They like it.
I doubt it.
It likes it.
You're just going by, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is posting pictures when, of its best life.
I don't even follow it on social media you.
Then what do you?
Because I know it just does fun shit.
You assume. There's a lot of work.
Only time I've ever seen it, I've been having a ball. I watch pigs race each other in a race.
All right, now you're just lying, making things
No,
up.
I watched a pigs race and then walked 15 feet and touched the Wienermobile. It was the greatest day of my life.
All right, Tim. You know what? You're not a 5-year-old. I don't have to sit here and take this. Pretend like, oh, really? What was it like?
I swear to God,
you're a liar.
In Tennessee.
You're a liar and a fraud. You might as well move into a tiny house.
They had all the pigs in the race were named after celebs like Kim Kardashian Ham.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pamela
Anderson. Most of them just had ham in their names whenever it was appropriate.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, that's an easy substitution, I guess.
Yeah.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgt.com. You can support the show by supporting our sponsors. You can also support the show by going to tcgt.com/Amazon for your Amazon shopping and tcgt.com/pledge for our Patreon, where you get fun bonus things like Fast Food Fridays, the news, all other mini episodes. We're coming to Edinburgh, Scotland, and London, England.
You heard about that at the beginning of this show.
Yes. And that's in 2 weeks-ish.
Shit.
Send us And we've got a great show planned for you.
No. I wasn't even thinking, I think we do have a great show planned.
We do. 2 great shows.
Yeah.
3 great shows.
Man, I got a lot to do in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. I told you not to get married.
tcgte.com/tour for tickets.
Yeah, for all those tickets. And those are always fun. And I think we talked about this during the Google Hangout, but like every time we do this, people are always like, is it weird to come alone? Because you guys have a weird show. I don't want to drag friends to this. They might not like it. A, people usually do like it when they come, because if they're your friends and you like this, they're probably going to like it too. But B, tons and tons of people come by themselves, and it's cool, and people make friends, and it's fun and great.
Can I tell a story, Tom?
No.
2 different people came to our show 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Both came alone.
Yes.
And they both came up to us afterwards and were like, we came alone.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, talk to that person.
Yeah.
They wound up hitting it off, they became roommates and very good friends. And then one of them was moving out to another apartment and fell in love with the boy that moved into her room. They're going strong. So a relationship on that, and the friendship also. So like
hey, come to the show and start a new life.
Start a whole new life.
You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Complete Guide. You can follow us on Twitter @Complete Guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
Follow me on those things at Your Pal Tim.
And you can see fun things like this week when my building caught on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And I posted that to Instagram.
Yeah. You'll, do you think it's funny if when everybody gets to my wedding this weekend, there's a sign there that's like
it says the hashtag is the hashtag van life.
No, that's pretty good. My idea, which I think we're gonna do, is it's hashtag wedding.
Well, if it's hashtag van life wedding,
that's true.
I mean, that will just be very confusing to everyone.
Yeah, but I also think that would encourage her family to listen to this episode to figure it out.
And then they can learn about how to get better recommendations out of their pornography websites of choice.
Yeah, because they're like, "What's the name of your podcast?" I'm gonna be like, WTF with Mark Maron.
Yeah, I'm Mark Maron, and the other guy is I interview.
Good? Who are your guys? I'll ask everybody who their guys are.
Yeah, and what will they tell you?
I don't know.
Well, that's why you'll have to ask.
Yeah. Why would I ask a question whose answer I already
And where is your wedding this weekend?
What do you mean?
What's the address of the wedding if other people want to come?
Like, I know. And also, this goes out after my wedding.
I'm editing it, Tim. Well, it doesn't go out after your wedding to Patreon people, the $10 Patreon people. And Tim, if people are giving $10 a month, the least you can do is invite them to your wedding.
I know you'll be at my wedding the day that you're supposed to post this to Patreon. In which case, I know it's not going up that day.
No, it's going up, dude. I schedule them. I use that schedule
don't call
button.
Me dude.
Well, don't question my ability to schedule a podcast to release on time.
All right, I've had enough of this.
All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.